Hi everyone, welcome to 40K on Point, the channel that quantify Warhammer 40K. This video describes the elite choice for orcs using our predefined methodology. If you want to know more about the metrics that are used in this video, please follow the link in the description. This video is going to analyze the Burna boys, the Kommandos, the Meganobz, the Nobz, and the Tankbustas. So for 55 points, you are getting 5 Burna boys. They are armed with the Burna, and the Burna is assault weapon, but also a melee weapon. So for 55 points, you are getting 5 wounds of toughness 4 and a save 6 plus. The Burna is essentially a flamer, and its melee capacity gives the unit 10 attack, strength 4, and AP minus 2. The Here We Go and Daka Daka rules were considered in the metrics, but the Pyromaniacs and Mechamaniac were not considered. The Burna boys perform well in our metrics. They reach a score of 123%. They have okay anti-tank shooting and anti-tank melee capacity per point. They have an excellent anti-personnel shooting and anti-personnel melee capacity. So that makes a unit that has a very good firepower per point. So very good possibility of damage output. Like all the infantry orcs, they have okay mobility. And however, because of the drawback of that versatility in its damage output, it has quite a elevated defensive cost. So the fortitude score is a bit, the defensive cost that you're paying is higher than average. That being said, the unit has a potential of delivering more damage than its defensive cost, so that's why it is considered to be a unit that is a bit more than worth its point. So for 55 points, you are getting a Commando and a Boss Knob. The Boss Knob is armed with the Power Claw, and one of the Commando is having a Tankbusta bomb. So all the other Commandos are having Slugga and Choppa. That makes in close combat 12 attacks of strength 4, no armor penetration, and 3 attacks of power fist of strength 10. So very decent close combat capacity. So also for 55 points, you are getting 6 wounds because the Boss Knob is having 2 wounds, toughness 4, save 6 plus. The Here We Go and Daka 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 rule were considered for the metrics. Also the Cunning Infiltrators, which is essentially a deep strike. Sneaky Gits, which increased the defensive posture, had some impact on the defensive capacity of that unit. And also Throat Slitters, which was considered in the metrics. It increased by 1 the wound rolls when they're attacking a unit that is on a tearing feature. Overall, it gave a super strong score for the Commandos. They are assessed to be worth 195% their value. Their shooting is okay. The anti-tank shooting is essentially the element of the Tankbusta bomb, so that gives some anti-tank shooting capacity, very, very close range. And the anti-tank melee and anti-personnel melee is both exceptionally good, a bit better than the boys because of the throat slitter rules. So it gives a unit that is very versatile both against infantry and against vehicle. Both are close to a 5-star level on those 2 aspects. So per point, extremely efficient in melee for those commandos. Its fortitude score Also because of its special rule is a bit lower than average, so it's having important impact. Also the fact that the knob is only 9 point instead of its usual cost, that does increase the efficiency overall of the unit. So overall, that makes a unit that is extremely efficient. Its damage output is almost twice its defensive cost. So that is probably a unit that you are going to see in competition. Also, Kommandos could be interesting to do actions or those kind of thing, as they can deep strike into your opponent's line. Next, we have the Meganobz. So for 114 points, you are getting 2 Meganobz and a boss Meganobz. Overall, they are all armed with a custom shooter, which is assault 4, strength 4 weapon. And they are all armed also with power claw, which is essentially a power fist, but they have a strength of 10. And so for 114 points, you are getting 9 wounds of toughness 4 and a save 2+. The Here We Go and Daka rule was considered for this unit, but not the keep in order, as it is an element that helps. It is a force multiplier for morale for the nearby unit. So the Meganobz perform well in our metrics, reaching a score of 117%. They have very weak shooting capacity. However, it is a dedicated anti-tank melee unit, and because of their good number of attack, it is a good also anti-personnel. Maybe not as good as other Orks unit, but it can be used that way. And it has a very strong fortitude score, which allows it to make a defensive cost that is very low, and its mobility is not very good. That being said, overall the damage output of that unit, its potential is higher than its defensive cost, so that's why it makes a unit that is a bit more than worth its point. Next, we have the knobs. So for 85 points, you are getting 5 model, including a boss knob. They are all armed with the slugger and the chopper. So they have 5-inch movement, weapon skill 3+, ballistic skill 5+, 5 strength, toughness 4, 2 wounds each, 3 attacks, and a save 4+. Knobs also are available with other units, as they're kind of sergeant, and they're usually a boost because you're paying only the price of the unit. So usually it's half that amount that we're paying when they're paired together. For the difference of points, however, you're getting a better armor save. So for 85 points defensively, you are getting 10 wounds of toughness 4 and a save 4+. The Here We Go Daka rules were taken into consideration. However, the keep in order was not, and was not considered in the matrix. So the knobs perform well in our metrics, reaching a score of 109%. They have a very weak shooting capacity, but they have good melee capacity. Its anti-tank melee is almost a 3-star, and its anti-personnel is very close to a 4-star level. So it has okay damage output, and what makes the unit interesting is its fortitude score, which is very strong. So it makes a unit that is able to take damage per point, and that makes a unit, even if it does not have a lot of damage output, makes a unit that is worth its point. That is, the damage output is equal or close to the defensive cost of the unit. So that makes a unit that is worth its point. Next, we have the Tankbustas. For 85 points, you are getting 4 Tankbusta and a bus knob. All the models are armed with the rocket launcher. And the unit that makes 5 attacks, a 24-inch, assault 1, strength 8, AP minus 2, damage 3. So the drawback for that massive anti-tank shooting capacity is that for 85 points, you are only getting 6 wound of toughness 4, and its save is 6+. Again, the Here We Go and Daka Daka rules were considered for the metrics, but also Tank Hunter, which allow to reroll the hit roll when they are targeting vehicles. The Tankbustas did not perform well in our metrics. Even with their anti-tank shooting capacity, they are getting 3.81, so it's a 4-star. So it's a pretty good anti-tank shooting, but that's the only element in which they are good. And you are paying a lot for that anti-tank shooting capacity because the defensive cost is pretty high at 17.07 for a per normalized wound. It makes a score that is very, very high. So that makes a unit in which its offensive output do not equal its defensive cost. That is why this unit is not considered to be worth its point. So overall, you have very interesting choice for your elite choice for the orcs. You have a variety of options. If you are looking for anti-tank, well, you got the Tankbustas. The drawback is its fortitude, so if you can hide them in vehicles and they can shoot in the vehicles, so that would limit their very expensive defensive cost. You have good anti-personal shooting capacity with the Burna boys. I'm not sure if that's very essential because you have a lot of units that have a good anti-personal capacity. You have some versatile, very good unit in melee. The best one would be the Kommandos, which is able to both strike at vehicles and infantry equally. And you have also very resistant unit with the Meganobz and the Nobz. So overall, you got a lot of good choice. I think the Commando is the best option in this segment for the orcs. So an efficient way to turn competitive the Kommandos, that is to reach the 200%, is to go with the specialist mob Antas, which give the sneaky devils capacity. Essentially, when they are in terrain, within terrain, they are getting 5+ invulnerable save. And when they are attacking from terrain or a unit in terrain, they are adding 1 to their armor penetration. So that increase with the already very good bonus for the Kommandos. So without any stratagem, they are reaching a very good score. And I'm not sure it's interesting to put a command point in a 55-point unit. So that's why, for that reason, I'm staying just at that level and keeping, I think, with the Anta Sneaky Devil. It can be also a good synergy with the boys. So this video described the elite choice for the orcs using our standardized methodology. Please feel free to comment on how to increase the efficiency of those units or how to deal with them. Subscribe if you like this kind of content. I will upload all the units of 40K using exactly the same method. Thank you for watching. Over and out.